This is the arena. And like, again, I talked about it. I was fired up to be in here because everything that we have done up until this point has prepared us for this. And it's been the comeback against TCU, the comebacks in the season, the times I've given you props about responses. It's been preparing us for these moments to know that we can step on the floor and know, A, we deserve to be here. We're good enough. We're good enough to go beat anybody. We know who we are. And when people try to push on us, we know how to lean back.
Jamie Morrison has his Texas A&M Aggies ready to rock. They will play Louisville, a team that played for a national championship last year in the regional semifinal here in Lincoln. We're on the left side of the bracket. That's where we find Nebraska, the #1 overall seed, who is also undefeated. We'll see them later tonight against Kansas. But first up, Texas A&M and Louisville. One of the 4 of those teams is going to move on to Kansas City and take one step closer to winning a national championship. Courtney Lau alongside Olympic bronze medalist Holly McPeak. Madison Fitzpatrick is on the sidelines for us. And the chance to play here in Lincoln, this crowd, the environment, it's electric.
The overwhelming opinion of all these athletes, they were excited for the opportunity to play on the best stage in college volleyball here at the Devaney Center.
Well, let's talk about this Louisville program. A new head coach, a lot of youth. How can they have success tonight?
Louisville is the #2 blocking team in the country. They're going to lean into that a lot. But they need balance offensively. They're undersized on the left side, so they need to continue to push pace, and they need to use all the hitters, keeping everybody involved. So watch them push tempo and balance offensively to keep the Aggies off balance.
They have so many weapons they can go to. It truly is a balanced attack for Louisville. Look at these 4, all averaging over 2.5 kills per set. On the other side of the net for Texas A&M, they've got a couple of big weapons, and Logan Lednicki and Afena Kasapala.
2 superstars for the Aggies. Afena Kasapala can absolutely dominate a match. She's scary in the middle, and her counterpart on the right side, the big left arm of Logan Lednicki. She loves the big stage, and she's got wicked range and power.
It is so difficult to slow down one, much less both of these 2 weapons for Texas A&M. Madison, for Texas A&M, it's kind of deja vu. They played in a regional here in Lincoln last year.
And last season at this regional, a #6 Texas A&M pushed a #2 Wisconsin all the way to 5 and fell. Logan Lednicki said, however, they were the underdogs going into that, and they had this mentality where they wanted to shock the world. Well, she said from this experience, this team feels like now they belong, and teams are scared to play them. So with that comes a sense of calmness, confidence, and freedom that the Aggies plan on playing with today.
Holly, how do you think that mindset, that confidence, helps them today?
It helps them. They are dangerous. They've been here before. They've got 9 seniors, so they feel like they have to do it now.
Jamie Morrison is totally building this Texas A&M program. He's reached the tournament in all 3 seasons. They're trying to take that step. They haven't been to a regional final since 2001. It will be Louisville who serves first, and they put it in the hands of their sophomore setter, Nelis Cabello. Daddy Walk will push it to the outside to Kendall Stowers. Felicia Coyne with a double-handed pushover. This will be a 3-ball back to Louisville. Cabello backside to Calissa Blackshear. Just a freshman, Blackshear has been an impact player.
Calissa Blackshear is the ACC Freshman of the Year, and she has been incredible from the start. Louisville likes to use her left, middle, and right because of her high contact point. She's hard to stop.
It's a fairly young Louisville team.
Very young. They are completely rebuilt since last season.
Nelis Cabello was last year's ACC Freshman of the Year, and now, as you said, Blackshear is this year's. Cabello's going to throw it up in the middle to Hannah Sherman, and a little bit of traffic. That'll be a point for Texas A&M.
A little bit of nerves. We see a transition setting here. We saw a free ball from the Aggies earlier, just trying to work themselves into this match. And this is a big stage and a big moment for both teams.
Where Louisville has a younger setter, Texas A&M has an experienced one in Maddie Walk, who just served. She's one of 9 seniors on this Texas A&M team. Walk number 16, throwing it back to Logan Lednicki, and there's her first swing looking good.
I knew Texas A&M wanted to get Lednicki going early. She sets the tone, and if she's scoring, it really opens up her other hitters in the middle and left side.
Logan Lednicki, number 9, is a semifinalist for the National Player of the Year.
Fena Kazapala owning the net for Texas A&M. Louisville trying to establish their middles, get it going right from the start because they're contacting the ball really well, but Kazapala is a one-man wrecking machine, one-woman wrecking machine.
This is going to be such an interesting matchup in the middle with Fena Kazapala and then Kara Cressy and Hannah Sherman for Louisville. What intrigues you about the middles?
Two very experienced middles with length and players who can score. Kara Cressy at 6'6", has high contact point, and then Kazapala is explosive with a big, powerful arm. They're going to face off and have to go through each other to get to the next round.
Cressy hasn't rotated in yet. They've got Hannah Sherman in the middle right now, and Kendall Stowers cleaning that up. It is a 5-0 run for Texas A&M.
Dan Meskey said, look, first contact is crucial for us. We have to focus on it, take care of it, and they know they do anyways with the balanced offense they want to run, so they need to clean up their passing now.
Well, that ends a brilliant run to start this match with Maddie Walk behind the service line. For Texas A&M, so many milestones this season. Their best regular season since 1984. They're back in the regional semifinal. First back-to-back regional semifinals ever in program history.
This is a Texas A&M team who've really built something special.
Maddie Walk goes in the middle to Fena Kazapala. That's the damage she can do.
Getting your stars going right off the bat, so important for Texas A&M. Look at Kazapala, one-on-one, cross-body swing. Beautiful kill out of the middle.
She is 13th in the nation in hit percentage, talking about Kazapala. Here's Stowers, the Baylor transfer. Cabello is going to run Sherman behind her. Oh, and a sharp angle by Emily Helmuth.
Both teams trying to establish middle, but that opens up things on the pin, and Helmuth just had an impressive sharp angle inside the Louisville defense.
Helmuth originally started her career at Pepperdine, spent a couple of seasons there before becoming an Aggie before last season. High ball. Cabello on the run, throws it up to Blackshear, saved by Stowers in the back row, but A&M can't get it over. Well, for Louisville, so much success with this program. Dan Meskey, though, in his first season as the head coach, but he's not a stranger to Louisville.
No, he's been part of the program as they've risen to the top echelon, and he is such a passionate coach. The players love competing, and they just call him a volleyball nerd. He's always thinking of ways to make this team better.
The swing and the kill by Peyton Peterson. It was the obvious choice when Danny Busboom Kelly left to take the Nebraska job. Of course, we'll see Nebraska coming up later tonight. Dan Meskey, it was the obvious choice, right? Everybody said, duh, well, of course he's going to be the next head coach.
Definitely, and Dan Meskey, you know, he's happy and proud to have this opportunity, but he wanted to be the most improved coach in the country, and that's something he's been working on.
Kara Cressy mishit on that, and it's a point for Texas A&M. And you see the success that Dan Meskey was a part of when he was the associate head coach. And to your point, Holly, we asked him, okay, you want to be the most improved head coach. What's changed? And he said, I've changed some of my sideline demeanor. It's the first time, too, he's coaching the offensive side of things.
And that's a whole different role, and he's figured out a way that he wants to talk to his setter. He's letting Cabello just run the offense. He's giving her feedback, but letting her do her thing, and she finds that empowering.
Right now, all the momentum with Texas A&M, even though Louisville picks up the point, they are hitting under 200. Anything over 300 would be great. Right now, Texas A&M's at 500 with no errors. That serve goes long from Hannah Kenny.
Part of the game plan for Louisville is to attack from the service line, so they want heat on that serve, and Hannah Kenny is one of the best servers on that Louisville team, so they're going to keep their foot on the gas from the service line.
Logan Lednicki on the serve for Texas A&M. Camden Schran, the libero, takes it. Peyton Peterson with the hammer.
That is the tempo. Cabello to Peterson, flat, with pace, and if they can keep that tempo going all match long, it will allow the undersized attackers to score better for Louisville.
And Peyton Peterson rotates back to serve. Morgan Perkins got the swing in the middle. Aggies point.
Both teams trying to establish middle. We're seeing Cressy go at Perkins right now. Earlier it was Cressy versus Kozapala.
Garrett Cressy on the slide. Texas A&M was ready. Maddie Walk has to bump set Stowers. And it got caught up in the tape. Point Aggies.
I've been really impressed by the left side hitters on the Aggies hitting that sharp ball inside the block versus Louisville.
Alicia Coyne with a nice pass. She'll get the swing too. It was touched, and that was a huge transfer piece. Chloe Chacoin was at Purdue, entered the portal, and found a new home at Louisville.
Chloe Chacoin has really flourished at Louisville. She handles the first pass, and then the fast set out to that left side allows her to go through that seam of the Aggie block.
She is coming off a monster match, a career-high 28 kills in their second round match against Marquette. That was a 5-set win for Louisville.
Kendall Stowers, number 37 for the Aggies, has so much range. We just saw her go sharp angle, but now she goes down the line, and that's what makes her so tough to stop.
Stowers, an incredible athlete. Tatum Thomas. Texas A&M uses 2 liberos. They use Thomas to serve.
Chloe Chacoin has been getting hot offensively for Louisville lately, really leading them with her energy.
She's an undersized attacker. How does she find success?
Very undersized, but she's extremely competitive and finds the edges of the block, tries to attack, and then when they run her fast, she can find seams in the block.
She's listed at 5'10". It's undersized for an outside hitter, and that is a block for Hannah Sherman.
Hannah Sherman, number 11 in white for Louisville, is really good at getting outside and closing that block. Look how high over the net she is pressing, making sure to take care of that block.
Louisville, you mentioned it, Holly, second in the nation in blocks per set, but Dan Meskey told us they haven't been imposing their will with the block. They were too worried about matchups, and so now they're just trying to go out there and dominate with their block.
That's exactly right. You want to get on the ball. You don't have to worry about a certain part of the court. You want your hands on the opponent's side of the net so you can affect the hitter.
And Stowers just picked up her 4th kill. Maddie Walk, this is where they went on a 5-0 run. Calissa Blackshear's going to end that on the first serve.
All season long, Louisville has been running Calissa Blackshear on a 2-set out of the middle. And look at the response. There's a triple block by the Aggies, and Blackshear still goes over deep for the kill.
That is a true freshman in Calissa Blackshear who plays opposite, so she swings on the right side, but there you saw her swinging out of the middle of the floor. Maddie Walk back to Logan Lednicki. And that one ricochets off of Nelise Cabello.
Almost a year ago today, Logan Lednicki had a huge match against Wisconsin. They just lost by 2 points, but she had 23 kills and loves the big stage. Look for her to get the balls often, especially at the end of sets when they need to seal it.
Logan Lednicki, number 9 in Maroon. She played with the national team this summer, one of 2 collegiate athletes, the other being Olivia Babcock of Pitt, to have that opportunity. Ava Underwood steps up to take this helmet with the swing, and she loves to go in the angle. We've already seen it a couple times. Texas A&M the first to 15.
The left-siders for the Aggies attacking the sharp angle in transition. Look at the range inside the block.
Welcome back to the Bob Devaney Center. Texas A&M up over Louisville 15-10. Well, Logan Lednicki was one of 2 current collegiate players to make USA's national team VNL roster this past summer. Logan told me, first of all, getting the invite to train with Olympians was thrilling. And then when she got there and they were playing Olympic gold medal Italy team, she had a moment where she took it all in and thought, I'm 20 years old and I am here and I can do this. And it was that VNL experience that gave her a whole new level of knowing that she belonged. She said it taught her to be confident. And when playing with confidence and playing free, she said she can accomplish anything.
Holly, what makes Logan Lednicki such a dangerous weapon?
Well, she's left-handed, and Lednicki's got tons of range. She can hit that quick ball, and when that ball is coming out to the right side, she cuts it off before the defense can get there. And she can hit with pace, she can hit with range, she can hit any part of the court. She's really tough to stop.
Yeah, what a great experience for her, and to bring back that confidence and that knowledge to Texas A&M. Again, Logan Lednicki, one of 9 seniors on this A&M roster. The Aggies have come out in this opening set hitting 600. They hit 297 on the season.
Fenna Cazapala out of the middle of basically a 2-set, and the block for Louisville was there, but the heavy arm muscles through the Louisville defense.
Cazapala, 2 kills on 2 swings. She's also got a couple of digs and a block. She'll now go back to serve. She is dangerous behind the service line. Although Louisville handles that one nicely. Going back over to Louisville, Peyton Peterson on cleanup duty.
The service game is so crucial at this elite level in the collegiate game. Texas A&M is winning that battle so far early in this match. They've been able to create opportunities. That one's a missed opportunity after the dig goes over, and Peyton Peterson for Louisville just cleans things up.
Peyton Peterson tied with Alyssa Blackshear, leading Louisville right now with 4 kills apiece. Lednicki coming in. Did you see that angle?
That is the range, and the set is so fast that the block for Louisville has to chase, and that angle is impossible to dig. You have to be an off blocker with your helmet on.
Peterson tooling the block. We talked about Chloe Chacoin being undersized. Peyton Peterson also undersized on the left.
Both left-siders are undersized for Louisville. Peyton Peterson and Chloe Chacoin, they have to work harder than everybody else. Not only are they playing defense, passing every ball, they have to max jump every time just to work around the block.
Peterson comes from a volleyball family. Her mom, Bobby Peterson, is the head volleyball coach at UNI. They played in the tournament this year. Her twin sister, Jaden, is also on that UNI team. In flies Chloe Chacoin.
Louisville moved that set inside, and it really threw the block off from Texas A&M. They were going a little bit wide, and this ball dies inside, and that allows Chloe Chacoin to work around the block.
There you go, short serve here. Texas A&M still able to get the middle going. Chacoin, another powerful swing. Texas A&M in the net.
Transition offense is crucial for Louisville. If they can dig the ball and then attack back, you see a net violation by the Aggies, but that gives this Louisville team momentum.
It is a 3-0 run for Louisville, and that forces Texas A&M, who's been in control most of this first set, to call a timeout. Louisville right now hitting 440 and creeping up on Texas A&M here in set number 1. Well, the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship continues tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 as third-seeded Creighton takes on top-seeded Kentucky in the Kentucky Regional Final. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Don't forget, after this match, we've got Nebraska. You see Harper Murray, Rebecca Alec, the Nebraska team doing a little scouting possibly. If they were to win tonight, they would play the winner of this match on Sunday.
They might have had the same situation as us, just waiting around to play.
Yes.
It's difficult, but obviously scouting their opponents, hoping that they can make it to the next round.
Well, since the timeout when it was 15-10, Louisville is hitting 833. Their season average is 272. And you see the difference in wins and losses for this Louisville offense? What stands out, Holly?
First of all, Louisville is a team that really leans into their defense, their block defense, their back row defense. So they need to be able to score because they're keeping the ball off the ground. When they're able to put the ball away, use that balance, get their middles going, that's when they're most successful.
So a 3-0 run. Peyton Peterson will step back behind the service line. Can she keep it going out of the timeout? Going short, making Ava Underwood dive for it. Helmuth is stuffed!
I like that serving strategy by Louisville, the little short serve. Ava Underwood made a fantastic play to get under this ball, but this sets up Louisville for the block at the net.
Kara Cressy, a captain of 5th year with the block for Louisville. And an attacking error in the middle for Morgan Perkins. The streak continues for Louisville. They've tied it.
Maddie Walk trying to force that middle. Texas A&M right now in a situation where they've only got 2 hitters in the front row. So look for Texas A&M to go back row to Lednicki.
5 straight points for the Cards. Helmuth dug out by Peterson, goes right back over. Maddie Walk will give it back to Helmuth. She gets a 3rd swing and puts it to the floor. That is the run.
Louisville had a defender in that sharp angle trying to slow down Helmuth, but Texas A&M gets an easy transition ball after that.
They serve at Camden Tran, the libero. Boyd comes hard with the swing. Walk out to Stowers. Underwood is everywhere. Hannah Kenny steps in to set this up for Chacoin. Solid dig by Helmuth. Chacoin again. Stowers. Blocked by Cabello, the center.
Louisville doing such a nice job picking up their defense, staying in the long rally. They're a team that can wear you down, and Naelise Cabello on that right side comes up with a big stop on Stowers.
Molly Wilson in to serve for Louisville. And a football stepped over the line.
Not a call you see very often, but the linesman all over it.
And here's Tatum Thomas again. The Grand Canyon transfer has been using as a serving specialist in that libero jersey. Chacoin a little further in the court.
Texas A&M going after Chloe Chacoin, serving her almost every ball, making her pass and work. But I love the fact that she's moved things inside. The Aggies move their block in, but that opens a lineup for Chloe Chacoin, giving her more court to attack into.
And look at the spike speed coming off her hand at 60 miles per hour. Woo!
She's explosive.
Misconnection, looking for Casapala in the middle. Something was just a little off, but they're going to catch Louisville in the net. That's a break for the Aggies.
Unfortunate for Louisville. That was a ball that looked like the Aggies netted, but it was actually Louisville.
So Texas A&M hits what we call the red zone first. That's 20 points. Now a race to 25. They continue to attack Chacoin, and she tools the block all the way across the court.
Chloe Chacoin is moving her offense around, really forcing the block to have to react and move. This is an out-of-system play. Sets coming from way off the net, but look at that aggressive swing off the inside hand of the middle blocker.
Free ball back to Louisville. It was chaos on the A&M side. Peyton Peterson lets Louisville hop into the lead. The first time they've led since it was 1-0.
Louisville takes care of their first contact, and that isolates one blocker in front of Peterson, and led Nikki late with her hands for Texas A&M.
Both outsides for Louisville are leading them right now. They've got 6 kills apiece. Peterson and Chacoin. Walk on the run, goes backside to Lednicki, who had to use her right hand. She's a left-handed player.
Maddie Walk, fantastic change of directions as a setter. It looked like she's going outside. She pushes it back to Lednicki. I think it caught Lednicki by surprise too, because that was a right-handed attack by the left-handed player.
Why is changing direction so important?
Well, I think it just stresses the block on the other side of the net. You're reading the ball out of the setter's hands as a blocker.
Service error by Kendall Stowers. Puts Louisville on top 22-21, going to 25 here in the opening set. Camden Tran, the libero on the serve, going short. We've seen Louisville send over a lot of short serves already. Blackshear. Walk to Helmuth. Oh, Karen Cressy! She got a huge shove from Peyton Peterson after that.
The serving strategy by Louisville is really disruptive right now to the Aggies. Created lots of point opportunities, but watch the swat block. The long 6'6" Karen Cressy identifies the tip, throws it down for a huge Louisville point.
Texas A&M has to call timeout because Louisville is on an 11-4 run. We talked about the middles, and look at the middles for Texas A&M. Hannah Sherman and Kara Cressy, they're so good at blocking. We just saw Cressy come up big.
Hannah Sherman, more known for her blocking than her offense, but she has been improving offensively. And then Kara Cressy, good on both sides of the ball, so experienced, fantastic eye work that allows her to identify those types of off-speed shots.
Winner of this match will move on to that regional final to face the winner of Nebraska and Kansas, which is coming up later tonight.
Louisville's been making a big push to be better in the red zone. This is something they struggled with a little bit at the end of the season, and they've refocused on how can we be better at the end of the sets, and they've been really good so far in this first set.
Madison, what did you hear in the Texas A&M huddle?
Coach Morrison said, all right, they're serving short, so passers take a step up. If they serve into the stack of Fenna Casapala, you take it. He said, we need one side out.
They go short again, and Fenna Casapala did take it, and they get the side out.
I love the step in by Casapala, not afraid to get out there. She trained a year ago as an outside hitter to make her a better all-around player, and she takes care of that first contact. And Lednicki gets a one-on-one on the right side.
Logan Lednicki's got 5 kills. Blackshear out of the middle. Casapala's gonna set Helmuth with her hands and tie up the game. Casapala a middle, a beautiful set.
Jamie Morrison takes pride in developing players as all around. If you're a middle, you're going to have to play every skill. He has drills forcing them to do everything on the court, and that makes for better volleyball.
We've seen Fenna Casapala's full skill set in this first set alone.
Fenna Casapala is a player who can dominate in every aspect of the game. When we asked Jamie Morrison about her, he said, look, Fenna Casapala is my everything. She does whatever it takes for this program. She's got my back. If the crowd's talking to me, she is the best team player we have.
And what a weapon for Texas A&M, and she is one of those 9 seniors that played. Again, played here last year in the regionals. Texas A&M gained confidence from that, and coming into this match with that confidence they built from last year.
The buy-in of the players who have been with Jamie Morrison as he's built this program has been incredible, and he loves that. He says, look, I'm collecting great human beings in my life, and he loves to develop them off the court as well.
Well, Fenna Casapala's stat line right now, 2 kills on 3 swings, no errors. She's also got 3 digs and a block and an assist.
And we expect Fenna Casapala to dominate a match. We've seen it her entire career long. Watch Fenna Casapala drive out of the middle. She's isolated one-on-one, just quick arm, able to score. She can do it all.
On the season, she hits .472, which is 13th in the nation.
dominant on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. And now she's behind the service line. That's also a scary place if you're the opponent.
Efena Kozapala has worked on her serve, and it's one of the most dangerous in the game. Big, heavy arm.
She's their aces leader. Kara Cressy, and Louisville's got set point.
Those are two players we knew were going to go at one another. That time, Kara Cressy goes down at the line with Kozapala in the back row.
Louisville had a key 5-0 run late in this set, and now they're the first with a match point. Can they close it out with Hannah Kinney? Or excuse me, a set point. Can they close it out with Hannah Kinney behind the service line? This will be a free ball back to the Cards. Cabello outside to Peyton Peterson down the line. Louisville takes the opening set 25-23.
I'll tell you, Louisville's serving strategy really caught the Aggies off guard. They were not ready for it. Kozapala does a nice job when she's in the front row taking it, but it's really taken the Aggies out of sorts.
So Louisville claws back, and they take the opening set by 2 points, hitting .457 to start off this regional semifinal. Here in Lincoln, Nebraska, Louisville just took the first set on Texas A&M 25-23 in our regional semifinal. And one of the strategies we saw for Louisville was a short serve. Why does this disrupt it?
Well, the short serve is pulling the passer up in the court, and they're sometimes pulling it back. This one gets away from Underwood and forces a non-setter to set the ball, and then Louisville gets a free ball, and they're able to attack back and capitalize one-on-one, and Peterson goes down that line.
Louisville, Texas A&M was the first to 15 points in that set. But after that, Louisville didn't have an error. They just hit the gas and hit over 600. Madison, what was Texas A&M talking about as far as adjustments after dropping that first set?
It was exactly what you guys just talked about. Head coach Morrison said, take a step up on the pass. We know this is where they're targeting on serve, so take a step up and handle it. He also said there's lots of balls hit to zone 6. We need to make sure to get up, slow those down, get hands on it on the block, and then dig those up. So looking to protect that area 6 of the court.
Where's that area 6, Holly?
Area 6 is middle back. So that's the block should take the meat of the court, the middle of the court, and that's why you have your defenders on the perimeter.
So that zone 6, where are we talking about looking on the floor, Holly?
Right there.
Perfect. Texas A&M took the first set 25-23. Remember, winner of this match is moving on to Sunday's regional final. They'll face either Nebraska or Kansas. That match will be about 35 minutes after this one concludes. Texas A&M started out hot in the first set. They grabbed the momentum quickly, but Louisville, we never saw them panic.
No, I thought the Aggies were winning the serve and pass game early in the first set, and then Louisville just flipped the script, and the short serving really brought them back in the match and gave them momentum.
We'll see if they stick with that strategy here in set number 2. Blackshear has to tip with her left hand. Kendall Stowers through the block of Louisville.
Little misconnect in the middle with Blackshear, who's usually very effective on that 2-ball for Louisville.
Louisville in that first set trailed 17-12, ended up coming back to win that first set. And A&M continuing to serve at Chloe Chicoine. This time she's blocked. Texas A&M with the point.
Logan Lednicki that time, her hands shot over the net, so Chloe Chicoine could not beat her quickly down that line.
Maddie Walk led Texas A&M on a 5-0 run behind the service line in set 1. Melissa Blackshear ends the run, and that's the first point for Louisville.
Blackshear is an unusual player. She lines up as a right-sider and opposite, but she can attack from anywhere. And at 6'4", she's got that high range. And Louisville likes to use her because both of their left sides are undersized.
She touches close to 11 feet, and it's a player in Melissa Blackshear, number 24 in white, who had never played on the right side. She was a middle, and wow, she's found success there.
Blackshear's special. I mean, Dan Meske has said it all season long. Look, we want her to be a 6th rotation left side for us, but in the future. So let's use her as much as we can offensively along the net this year.
Peyton Peterson looking to go down the line, and she does. There's a touch on that.
Peyton Peterson of Louisville, so good at sneaking that ball down the line. It looks like she's going angle, and she gets a piece of the block. That's a tough ball to stop unless the block gets out wide enough.
She's got 8 kills, hitting 800. Block on the move, goes to Lednicki, has to tip. It's cleaned up by Cabello. Peterson rejected. We play on. Free ball back to the Aggies. That hit the antenna, so it's automatically out, and it was last touched by Texas A&M. Point for Louisville.
One of the goals for Louisville is to push that pace in transition. Even though Cabello was off the net, she pushed it out fast, and that allows Peterson to attack the block.
Lednicki gets a full swing. Camden Schran laying out for it. Helmuth coming to get it. Eaten up by Kara Cressy.
Kara Cressy moves that block inside, and she takes the angle away with her left hand. That's a mature adjustment. That's a 5th-year senior who sees it, recognizes it, and then that one looked like Blackshear got most of it.
That one's going to go out. Kara Cressy, number 13 in white for Louisville. This is a player who went from being a redshirt to being a leader to being a staple, and her deciding to come back for a 5th year, how important was that for Louisville?
It's everything. I mean, Dan Meske gets that leadership. He said, look, wow, how about Camden Schran, corner to corner ace. Louisville's feeling it. They're putting the pressure on the Aggies right now, but Cressy is like a pro. I mean, she knows how to take care of her body. She knows how to study and prepare for matches, and she's leading this young team.
So they called Louisville coming over and blocking the set, coming over the plane of the net.
Correct. Kara Cressy is not allowed to get over the net and affect the setter. Maddie Walks trying to go up and set. It's actually Peyton Peterson.
That ball didn't come over the plane of the net, so you got to let the offense have it. There's Casapala's serve. Wow. Walk to Lednicki. Logan Lednicki's up to 6 kills.
Louisville knows that Texas A&M wants to go back to Lednicki, but it's coming so fast, it's hard to stop. Great dig by Stowers, and then Walk going fast to Lednicki, who works it off Peterson's hands out of bounds.
Strand with a perfect pass. Kara Cressy, not the prettiest slide, but they'll take it, got the point.
Looked like that ball was set inside, but Kara Cressy recognized that the short shot right over the block was available.
Kara Cressy, a honorable mention All-American last season, and somebody that was drafted 5th overall in the MLV draft recently.
Kara Cressy gets to join former Louisville alum on the Indy Ignite of MLV, which is super exciting.
Peterson going after it, dug up by Stowers. Lednicki, hammer!
Kendall Stowers is playing middle back defense, but she's recognizing holes in the block. Look at her step in. Usually you're having a middle back player on the back line. She steps in, takes that ball, and turns it into a point.
Helmuth gets the back corner pocket.
We have not seen that shot by Emily Helmuth, number 4 for the Aggies, going deep to the corner. We've seen some really sharp range. You see the defense for Louisville ready for it, and then Helmuth goes deep to the corner. Smart decision to change it up.
That's her 5th kill of the night. Knotted up at 7 here in set 2. It's going over. That's 2 over passes in a row by Louisville. Feeding Helmuth. What a save from Chloe Chacoin. Can't get to that one. We've seen Emily Helmuth's toolkit. It is extensive.
It certainly is. She was the WCC Player of the Year when she was at Pepperdine, and ever since making the switch to Texas A&M, she's grown her game, her first contact, her offensive range. She's been able to really improve her all-around game.
That one, a 50-mile-per-hour swing coming off her hand. Oh, Cabello!
That is pure athleticism by Naelise Cabello, the setter for Louisville. She was chasing that ball, trying to do anything, but the Aggie block didn't chase, and she gets an easy kill at the net.
That ends a 3-0 run by Texas A&M. It'll put Peyton Peterson behind the service line.
Come on, dog, go with it, go with it. Get up.
Helmuth, not afraid of the block.
Louisville block was cheating outside to get to Helmuth, but fast arm of Helmuth gets through the seam of the block.
Helmuth comes from a volleyball family. Her mom, Erin, played volleyball at Baylor. Her sister also played volleyball. She was at Oklahoma Baptist. Oh, Morgan Perkins, rejection.
The Aggies continuing to go down that line, forcing Chloe Chicoine to pass. And she's passing well, but the block is able to get outside.
And for Morgan Perkins, that block was a big focus for her in the offseason, and they've even seen improvement as the season's gone along.
Morgan Perkins, her entire career, has been a dominant offensive player. She's hit well in the 400s always, but it's her block game that's catching up, and she's gotten really good defensively. I think being a good blocker is contagious. When your team blocks well, you want to be better.
Come on, one touch here.
Lednicki wide on that ball. The Aggies right now in a rotation with the front row setter, 2 hitters. Lednicki available out of the back row.
Molly Urban on the serve for Louisville. It's coming over. Hannah Sherman knew it was.
Service pressure right now by Louisville, creating point opportunities. It all starts from the service line, and that's right in the seam between 2 Aggie players, and then Hannah Sherman cleans it up at the net.
Louisville had a 3-0 run. That one's going to sail on Urban. Louisville surged late in set number 1 to win it 25-23. Now knotted up at 11 here in set number 2. Thomas is going to bump set Stowers. Dug out by Peterson. Cabello dumps it with one hand. Tran gets it right to Cabello, over to Chicoine. And they're going to call, they will call a lift on Chloe Chicoine. That's not a reviewable play.
Chloe Chicoine looked at her coach and was pointing like the Aggies were in the net.
That is something you can challenge.
Correct. This ball in Chloe Chicoine's hands, too long. That is the call. Too long on contact on that open hand power dink.
And you cannot throw the ball. Hannah Sherman, need I say more?
That was a huge block for a lot of reasons on the Louisville side of the net. That's a tough rotation. Louisville gets stuck in that one often. It's a 2-hitter rotation. So to get a defensive stop in transition and be able to rotate back into a 3-hitter rotation, that's a good thing.
Louisville's got 6 blocks already in the match. They set a program record earlier in the season with 22.5 blocks against Virginia Tech.
Kozapal, a little soft shot, showing she's got some finesse as well in her game.
Blackshear, second swing. Walk to Lednicki. Dug up by Cabello. Sherman wants to get that over. A&M won't let it fall, and then Lednicki just goes up and rips it.
Elise Cabello had a fantastic dig in right back, but here's a battle at the net. Sherman staying aggressive, but Lednicki getting inside and hit an impossible angle.
Wow. 8 kills for Logan Lednicki. And then the rejection, the block by Casapala and Stowers. Texas A&M with its largest lead. And so for the second set tonight, A&M is the first to 15 points. Can they keep the run going?
Texas A&M on a run behind the big arm of Logan Lednicki. She finds ways to score. That one goes wide, uses her right hand, but watch the offensive range. This ball is fast and low, and it doesn't allow the block to get there and close, and Logan Lednicki can score all night long.
She's got 8 kills, hitting .278. She's leading Texas A&M right now. The Aggies on a 3-0 run here in set number 2. They dropped the first set to Louisville 25-23. Maddie Walk serving this run. That one grazed the tape. Chloe Chicoine. Walk calls on Stowers, dug up by Schran. Chicoine looking to tool the block, won't get it. Other side with Blackshear, Afena Casapala.
I asked Jamie Morrison what makes Afena Casapala an elite blocker. Watch her hands. Just extends, and that ball goes straight down. That's uncoverable.
Casapala got to play with the U23 team this summer, and Jamie Morrison told us, you know, she came back and she was the best blocker in the country in our gym. I mean, we saw it every day. We expected her to block everything.
And she can block everything. At the Pan Am Cup, she was voted MVP and the best blocker in the tournament.
Louisville is challenging a net fault early in the play.
All right, so this is the first challenge by either team. You get 2 challenges per match. If you're correct in your challenge, you get to keep it. Oh yeah, Stowers' elbow in the net.
Yep. Good challenge. The last couple plays for Louisville, they've been stacking on the left, and Hannah Sherman's running a slide. No blocker going with Hannah Sherman. They're staying in the middle on Blackshear and on Chicoine. If they run a slide, literally Hannah Sherman has completely open net.
After the review, the decision will be reversed. There was a net fault. Point for Louisville, and they will retain their challenge.
Okay, so something to keep an eye on that slide. Let's check in with Madison.
Well, head coach Dan Meskey said he learned not to trust Chloe Chicoine whenever she would tell him to challenge something. Well, she was the one that said challenge this, and whenever the call got returned, they pushed each other very excitedly. I think he can trust her again.
She wanted him to challenge earlier, and he passed. He took a pass.
That was one of the things, Madison, he told us when we asked him, how have you improved as a head coach? Because his goal was to be the most improved head coach. He said, well, you know, a couple things here, but also I've learned I don't trust Chloe anymore. Except maybe on that one. So Louisville still with 2 challenges. Texas A&M has its 2 challenges as well. Chicoine now serving, and they go short. That was a big strategy for Louisville in the first set that paid off. Chicoine is going to set up Blackshear. Maddie Walk coming from behind Stowers to set her up. They call Louisville in the net.
Stowers, tons of power in transition, but Louisville struggling to get around the big block with the Afena Casapala just patrolling everywhere.
and it's set to Blackshear.
Tight pass, and Cabello, such a good athlete, goes up, gets it, and feeds Blackshear. One of the things Blackshear did well on that last one, she kept it high. Usually she can hit over blocks, but tough against the Aggies, so she's got to keep her swings high.
Kate Peterson, we're gonna go cross court. She snuck that in.
One of the things Cabello is doing better tonight is she's pushing pace even when she's behind that 3-meter line, and that allows Peyton Peterson to swing around that block because of the pace of the set.
Peyton Peterson now the only attacker in this match in double-figure kills with 10. And she's hitting a monster 667. Lednicki to the floor.
The set to Logan Lednicki for the Aggies is so quick, it's almost impossible for a middle blocker to get out there. Watch it, Kara Cressy steps right, but you might think about putting a defender in that seam to just step up and body it up. I don't know what else you can do to stop it.
We've seen them get kills right there from Logan Lednicki on that same spot a couple of times. Peterson's turn, blocked.
Morgan Perkins doing a fantastic job getting outside and closing. The Aggies have really picked up their block pressure right now, and it's putting some pressure on Louisville.
Largest lead for Texas A&M, and Louisville has to call a timeout here in set 2. The Aggies lead it 19-15. Well, Jamie Morrison, in his 3rd season at Texas A&M, he wants to build something special and is building something special at Reed Arena in College Station. The home atmosphere. He told us last year when they were here at the regional, his goal was to make it a Nebraska-like setting. And we're seeing the crowds elevate. Last weekend was electric in Reed Arena.
I wanted to be there. I have goosebumps just watching. But yes, Jamie Morrison, his energy and passion for the game and what he wants to do with the sport is infectious. And you can see it in the crowds. Look at the numbers. When he started, just 1848 right before, and now 4,529 people, and I believe they had more last week.
Yeah, the attendance record before Jamie Morrison was about 6,800. They passed that by about 3,000 fans. It's incredible the atmosphere they built, and like I said, he wanted to base it off what Nebraska has done here.
What Nebraska has done for the sport of college volleyball is incredible. I mean, everybody aspires to have this atmosphere, have this crowd, have this kind of a team where the best show in town is the women's college volleyball team.
Right now, A&M's got the momentum here in set 2, trying to even up this match. Louisville had to call a timeout. Madison, what did Louisville talk about?
Head coach Dan Meskey talked about getting the middles going. He said, we got to get them going. Nay, let's stay with the tempo, but let's try and get our middles some one-on-one situations and get them involved.
They got Kara Cressy out there right now in the middle. It's a service error for Texas A&M. Morgan Perkins gets the swing in the middle for A&M.
Maddie Walk does a fantastic job for the Aggies, getting her feet to the ball and setting up Perkins high and fast in that gap set.
What difference does getting your feet to the ball make?
It just allows you to get the pace and location on the ball to feed your hitters.
A&M the first to 20 in the red zone. Running Cressy on the slide like they talked about in the huddle, but she goes long.
Kara Cressy, that last set was wide, but she can also run like a back one set closer to Cabello so she can go down that line or cross, give her a little bit more range.
Louisville is going to use its final timeout of this set. They are down big 21-16 here in set 2. Texas A&M on a 9-4 run. Louisville now no more timeouts in this set. They're down 21-16. Texas A&M getting everybody involved, but they're getting production out of the middle too.
It was interesting. Early in the first set, both teams were trying to get their middles involved, and then they went away from it, and the pins were scoring. But right now, the Aggies have 5 kills from their middle blockers compared to just 3 for Louisville. So trying to go back to them a little bit more. The blocking has been the big difference. 4 blocks in this set for the Aggies.
Service error out of the timeout by Emily Helmuth.
Last time Molly Urban was on the back line for Louisville, Louisville was able to get a couple scoring opportunities.
Kendall Stowers turning it down the line.
Kendall Stowers, number 37 for the Aggies, just has so much range. She's explosive, dynamic off the floor, and look at her thread the needle down that line.
Just incredible that this time last year she was sitting at home watching the tournament. She was medically retired at Baylor, but got cleared to play at Texas A&M. Did not play volleyball or go to school last season. Has found a new home and a new life with the Aggies. The ace for Cabello.
Beautiful serve by Cabello. Good pace and serving the seam between 2 of the Aggie passers. That's what you want to do, pace to space, and that one gets away from the Aggies.
Outside to Stowers. Blocked by Hannah Sherman.
Love the Louisville stop in the net. Hannah Sherman takes up so much space defensively as a blocker. Walk goes outside. There's a big seam in the block, but Hannah Sherman reads where that ball's going and cuts it off defensively.
It's a 3-0 run for Louisville now, and it forces Texas A&M to call a timeout here. 22-20 Aggies is your score in the second set.
We saw this in the first set. Texas A&M was up most of the first set, and Louisville made a late run, and now they're pushing back.
Well, for Louisville right now, Peyton Peterson has got 10 kills, hitting .562. And remember, she's an undersized outside hitter.
Dan Meskey says, look, sometimes she dominates a match, and she's not super flashy. She just gets the job done. Technically sound, high volleyball IQ, and does all the little things this Louisville team needs her to do.
She's someone that quietly fills the stat sheet. You look around and all of a sudden she's like, got aces behind the service line. She's digging,
Digs,
yeah,
blocks,
kills.
all of it. And she's quietly gotten 10 kills, hitting .562 already. We have talked about her, but she's quietly getting things done.
Well, Louisville's 3-0 run forced A&M to call a timeout. What did the Aggies talk about, Madison?
Coach Morrison said, don't wait for someone else to make a play, and that can be involved in covering or in serve receive. And he always talks about wanting his team to respond and looking at their response. And so he's going to look for his team to respond by taking initiative.
Yeah, can they end this run by Louisville and close out this set? Aggies trying to even up the match. Casapala in the middle. Peyton Peterson will set up Chacoin. Through the block, she tooled it.
Talk about getting things done. Peyton Peterson takes that deep set, pushes Chloe Chacoin all the way to the net, so she's able to score off the inside hand of the middle blocker.
Yeah, add to Peterson's stat line and assist.
Definitely.
Bomb and serves.
Nayalise Cabello is hitting a nasty floater. That thing is moving and dropping. This is like a knuckleball. There's no spin on it, and then the bottom just drops out. Fantastic pressure from the service line by Neelise Cabello.
She's had 2 aces in this run. It's a 5-0 run. Remember, Louisville trailed 21-16 in this set, and now they've tied it.
It's incredible. We saw the response at the end of the first set. That's been a huge point of emphasis for Louisville. Dan Meskey always wears black. But lately, there's been a huge emphasis on the red zone, being better at the end of the set. And that's why Dan Meskey is wearing red shoes. This is a new thing. Reminds his team, hey, we're going to finish strong at the ends of the sets. So new tradition, it's usually all black for Dan Meskey, but the red shoes representing that red zone where Louisville wants to be better.
Hey, whatever works, right? The red zone, of course, being 20 points and on, and that's where Louisville is right now, knotted at 22.
The last match, or the second to last match of conference, Louisville led Pitt in the first 2 sets and let them slip away. So that's why they went back to this focus on let's finish stronger at the end of sets. We're really good most of it, but we can finish stronger, and they've shown it tonight.
It's a 5-0 run for Louisville right now. They trailed 21-16 in this set. During that 5-0 run, Chloe Chacoigne's had 2 kills. Neelise Cabello's had 2 aces, and there's been a block for Louisville. Going to 25, got to win by 2. Walk to Stowers. Cabello saved that with one hand. Chacoigne swinging in the court. Louisville has the lead.
This is when Louisville's at their best, when they can get defensive stops off the block. Look at Cabello, and then Blackshear puts up a hittable set for Chacoigne, who crushes it.
A 6-0 run for the Cards. Walk on the run, going to Stowers. She tips. Chacoigne had to readjust, but she breaks through, and Louisville has set point.
Chloe Chacoigne stays aggressive. I love her mindset. She's one of the best competitors in the gym, and look at her blast that ball through the block of the Aggies.
Wingman tip, wingman tip. Get over quick, over quick.
Cabello will call on Blackshear. An 8-0 run seals set 2 for Louisville.
Incredible red zone performances by Louisville. They were better at the end once the teams reached 20. Look at Blackshear get way inside, keeps her swing high. Earlier she was dropping it low, and it goes off the block. Aggressive swings for crucial points. And Louisville now up 2-0.
What Louisville has shown in these first 2 sets, how they've closed it out, so impressive.
We'll talk about responses. Jamie Morrison talks about his team responding, but Louisville's been really good at their response tonight.
Well, Louisville head coach Dan Meskey is with Madison.
Coach, you put an emphasis on finishing in the red zone. How do you feel like your team delivered in that phase of the game?
We won. That was nice. So, yeah, we've been working on the red zone and thought we were really poised in both sets, but we got a long way to go.
Your outsides, both with 10 kills, leading your team, but you said you wanted to get your middles involved. How do you get them in a rhythm?
I don't know. They haven't killed many balls, and they're really good. We set the first few balls to our middles, and they stuffed them. So the way that they defend, we're going to need more kills than just our left sides. We can't just lean on them, so we're going to need everybody the rest of the way.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Go Cards.
Louisville trailed 21-16. They went on a 9-1 run, finished on an 8-0 run, and they lead this match 2 sets to none. Let's get you into the studio with Sam, Mary, and Jen. Louisville used an 8-0 run to close out set 2. They lead this match 2 sets to none. This will be a must-win set for Texas A&M, and their head coach, Jamie Morrison, is with Madison.
Coach, you put a big emphasis on your team's ability to respond. How do you need to see them respond in this set?
That's exactly what we just talked about, and it was about finishing. We were up 3 reels in the first, 4 reels in the second, and then we got to finish the sets. I actually like the way we're playing volleyball. I like the way we're fighting. I like the way we're responding in the second set. We got to go do it now. It's going to be a grind. It's a really good volleyball team across the net.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
It's something that they have talked about all season long, response, and the ultimate response is needed right now from A&M. What do you want to see differently, Holly?
They've been doing a lot of really good things, like Jamie Morrison said, but they're not finishing. They're not putting their foot on the gas at the end. And when you've got a team like Louisville who can get hot defensively and score from the service line, they're dangerous. So you have to put your foot on the gas and finish the set.
Now, you heard Mary Wise mention it in the studio moments ago that she loved the difference for Louisville was the blocking and the aces. They were able to get some more points in that area than Texas A&M was able to get in that second set.
So if you look at the middles, Texas A&M middles had 5 blocks, hit 400. Louisville middles hit 0, but they had 9 blocks. So it was a defensive stop that was the difference for Louisville. But I still want to see Louisville get those middles involved more.
Set 3. This will be a must-win set for Texas A&M to extend their season for a team that has 9 seniors. Walk sends it out to Kendall Stowers. Cabello calls on Chacoin. Stowers dug up by Schran. Chacoin is blocked. Casapala.
Fantastic defense by the libero of Louisville, keeping the ball up, but Kozapala on the other side of the net, better transition stop.
Texas A&M has not been to a regional final since 2001. They would have to reverse sweep Louisville to do that. Meanwhile, Louisville's trying to make it 5 in a row. Stowers looking for the angle too wide.
Louisville ready for those sharp angles they saw earlier in the match. They've got a defender. You see Chloe Chacoin with their hands up, and that ball just goes wide.
Short serve by Louisville. It's been a trend all match. And Texas A&M handles it nicely.
They do. That's a nice adjustment. That's the response Jamie Morrison wants to see. And you want to get your stars going when Afena Kozapala is dominating a match. Get her the set. Why not?
That short serve from Louisville really bothered Texas A&M in set number 1. Peterson with a perfect pass. She'll get the swing in the tip. In comes Logan Lednicki.
Logan Lednicki, the opposite for the Aggies, hits almost like a knuckleball. Sometimes she gets on top of it, but it's got weird pace in the angle, and it's tough to defend.
Lednicki's into double figures with 10 kills. They are feeding Peterson a second time.
The second first contact by Louisville, they were able to pass Cabello to the middle of the court. That is an ideal location for her to be able to spread the offense. Those serves down the line were pulling her over to the left too much.
Casapala stepping back to serve. And teams trading service errors here.
Both teams know it's crucial to put pressure on the other team where they can side out at a high clip.
Winner of this match will move on to Sunday's regional final. They will face either Nebraska or Kansas in that round of 8 match on Sunday. Nebraska-Kansas coming up about 35 minutes after this one finishes. Cabello looking for Cressy on the slide. We'll try the other pin with Peterson. Walk to Lednicki. Ooh, down the line with some pop.
Logan Lednicki Becky gets on the ball so quickly, and it's the range. We've seen her go angle, angle, angle. This one, she crushes down the line. Chloe Chicoine standing there and can't get her hands up in time. That was coming in hot.
Yeah, that ball going 64 miles an hour off of Lednicky's arm. Kara Cressy with an actual roof.
On a bump over, she was ready for it, and Perkins had her back to the net, didn't see the block.
The helmet is blocked. There's Louisville scoring with this defense.
Louisville is the second best block defense in the country. Nate Cabello is setting up a really nice block, and all Kara Cressy has to do is get out there and close. It actually hit Cabello and then Cressy.
I feel like that's become a staple of the Louisville program. They've just developed this solid, consistent block over the last several seasons.
Blocking is something that they've built their program around, and every year they spend a lot of time on it, and that's why they're one of the best in the country.
Dan Meske told us coming into this match he wanted to see the blocker impose their will more. He felt like their blocking was too worried about the scout. Have you seen that adjustment tonight?
I would say Louisville definitely be more aggressive with their hands, shooting them across the net, and that's what affects a hitter more than being high.
Molly Urban rotates in. They've now got Hannah Sherman up at the net blocking in that middle position. She's got 3 blocks tonight. It'll be a service error for Louisville. Cabello on the run, going to Chicoine, off hands. One-handed save by Addie Applegate. That was impressive. Ooh, Chicoine down the line.
The defense, Chicoine goes off the outside hand. Look at Applegate extend completely with her right hand to bring it back into the court. But then the free ball scored on by Louisville down that line again.
Naelius Cabello's behind the service line. She served them on an 8-0 run to close out set 2. Here comes Chicoine with a power tip.
We watched Louisville practice yesterday, and Dan Meske said, look, we need to pass the ball in the middle of the court. Naelius Cabello, the setter, is not as good when she has to back up or run forward to push it all the way across the court. So it looks like Louisville doing a much better job pushing it to the middle of the court on their first contact.
And it was so important that they taped a square or a rectangle down on the floor where they wanted it.
Kozapala crushed that ball on the quick set out of the middle, but just missed it wide.
3-0 run for the Cards. Something about Cabello behind the service line for Louisville. That's a perfect pass. Maddie Waugh getting aggressive.
Louisville block, thought that was going to Kozapala, so did I, and Waugh calls her own number, throws it down in the middle of the court. Really nice read of the block moving over to stop Kozapala.
Blackshear swinging on the left side of this rotation. In comes Lednicki. You need a kill, you just get out your big cannon of Logan Lednicki.
So important to have that kind of a player who's so terminal. But this is like a Scud missile. It's got heat, and there's not a lot of topspin on it. Cabello's in the right spot, but there's no downward motion on it.
156 miles per hour. That was a triple block she just tooled.
Texas A&M know that they're going to go that 2-set to Blackshear in the middle. They've been putting a triple block there. They're just late on the hands. And Blackshear's made a good adjustment, keeping her swings high, not trying to hit down into the seams.
Calissa Blackshear has 8 kills, the ACC Freshman of the Year. It's 24 in white.
So good by the Aggies. The quick set to Kozapala in the middle by Walk. You see Hannah Sherman trying to come in, but is late on the quick arm of Kozapala.
Oh, the dig by Schran. In comes Lednicki. Did she tag the line? She did.
The angles that Lednicki hits for Texas A&M. Look at the hitter coverage. Camden Schran for Louisville, keeping it alive, giving her team another opportunity.
And that one goes outside of the antenna, so automatically out. Tied up for the 7th time here in set 3, a must-win set for Texas A&M. Kara Cressy, one-on-one, she wins.
Kozapala was up in the air quick, and the set was a little slow out of Maddie Walk's hands. So you see the hang time, you want that ball a little quicker, and Cressy all over it defensively. Helma taking an aggressive swing, trying to go cross court, but those unforced errors are creeping up.
Just a little chaotic on the Texas A&M side of that rally. Louisville is going to sub in Reese Robbins for the first time. It was a battle between her and Calissa Blackshear in the preseason.
Watch Louisville put Reese Robbins in front of Lednicki to shut her down. They've strategized this all year long, putting Robbins on the best hitter on the other side of the net.
Reese Robbins, number 25 in white. That serve goes a bit wide on Hannah Kinney.
Missed opportunity, but Dan Meskey said he had some tricks up his sleeve, that they were going to throw some things into the match that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, things they've been training in their gym all season long, what they were saving for the postseason.
Some secret weapons.
Oh, let's see what else, other tricks they got in the bag. Peyton Peterson with a chop. Louisville on top by 1.
Those overpass swings are not easy to do, and Peyton Peterson hits away from the defense and goes cross court. I like that mature decision by her.
It's her 12th kill of the night. Black just had to bump set that to Lednicki. Chacoin chasing it. Just set it over. I think she looked at the official to see if she was going to call a double.
That's not a play that they can challenge, but she went up and attacked it with 2. I think she was expecting a joust in the net. Louisville up 15-13 in this 3rd set. We talked about Louisville wanting to pass the ball in the middle of the court. Right here, that's the goal where Cabello's best offensively. This pass is a little bit too far forward, but they get a reset. This is the contact I like, right in the middle of the court. The middle blocker on the other side has to hold and then chase. That's where Louisville's successful offensively.
And that's what we saw yesterday in practice. They taped a box on the court, and that's where they practice their passing and target in there so that Cabello doesn't have to run and move a lot.
That, and you're more effective as a setter when you're setting it from the middle of the court because you have more options available.
Morgan Perkins out of the middle for Texas A&M.
Good first contact attack by Texas A&M, and that allows them to run that quick set, use their middles. Both middles are over 427, one's 429.
Texas A&M's season comes down to this set. They have to win it. Service error. This match started with Texas A&M coming out confident, grabbing the momentum in the first set, but then they allowed Louisville to come back and win sets 1 and 2. Louisville ended set 2 on an 8-0 run. Lednicki coming out of the back row, just tipped. Louis Chacoin with the roll shot, dug up by Lednicki.
Let's go!
Kendall Stowers down the line.
We talk about Logan Lednicki's offense, but her defense picking up this short ball, getting under it, and that allows Maddie Walk to go fast out to Stowers, who crushes it down the line. Wow.
Kendall Stowers has 8 kills for Texas A&M and 6 digs. It's an ace for Tatum Thompson. That's the first ace tonight for Texas A&M.
Tatum Thomas has really taken the Aggies on runs from the service line all season long. She plays a crucial role for this Aggie team.
Chacoin, one arm save by Thomas. Stowers coming in and tagging the back line.
Kendall Stowers is so dynamic, and when she's in a good spot, you cannot stop her. We've seen her go sharp cross court, but now finding a lot of space down that line.
Jamie Morrison told us that Kendall Stowers is one of the best athletes at Texas A&M. Strength-wise, physicality.
Including all the men and women in the sports.
Free ball back to A&M. Stowers will get the swing. Off hands. Cabello to Chacoin. It was touch. Point for Louisville. That ends a 3-0 run by the Aggies.
Defense into offense. That's when Louisville's at their best, and Chacoin able to go high off the hands when there's a good size block right in front of her.
Tied up for the 11th time. Just hustling on both sides of the net, and it ends with a kill out the middle from Afena Casapala.
And credit Maddie Walk, the setter for Texas A&M, finding Casapala. She's got a great motor. She works to get off. Even though she was behind the setter on the first swing, makes herself available, and then able to score on the second attempt.
Cabello on the move to Blackshear. Dug up by Underwood. Stowers sets it over. Lednicki, that was with her right hand. She's a lefty. Chacoin using her left hand.
I'm not sure if that set's too wide for Lednicki, and she's letting it get past her left shoulder. And then the joust off the outside edge of the block for Louisville.
Tied at 18, going to 25. Paula out of the middle. She got it.
Incredible. She's unstoppable on a good pass. Maddie Walk should feed her every time. Look at the quick arm. She gets on top of the ball so quickly, you can't even get your platform under that ball.
Afena Casapala's got 7 kills on a 417 hit percentage. Service error knocks it at 19. Service error puts Texas A&M in the red zone first. Aggies 5 points away from extending the match. Cressy ties it at 20.
All match long, Louisville's run Kara Cressy behind. This time, a little one in front off the one-hand set from Cabello. I like it. The range of Cressy, able to score around one block. There's just Perkins in front of her.
3 kills for Kara Cressy, 7 blocks to go along with those 3 kills. Lednicki just continuing to be productive. She's at 14 kills.
Louisville had Reese Robbins across the net trying to slow her down, but Lednicki finds a way down that line.
She's one of those 9 seniors for Texas A&M trying to extend their season. She will step behind the service line now, serving at Camden Schran. Cabello using Chacoin out of the back row. Helmuth dug up by Chacoin, but into the stands it goes.
Dan Meskey doesn't love to run the big play, especially with the tip, and the Texas Aggie team was charging in to pick up that tip on the back row attack. You see Dan Meskey talking to Chloe Chacoin on that swing.
So timeout Louisville, Texas A&M up 22-20 in a must-win set. And we've told you a little bit about Kendall Sowers. Her last year is just incredible. She was the Big 12 preseason freshman of the year at Baylor back in 2023. Didn't end up finishing that season because she was medically disqualified and retired after so many concussions. She withdrew from Baylor because she wasn't cleared to play volleyball and spent 2024 just training with her dad, who's a strength coach. Finally saw several different doctors, wanted to make sure it was safe. She got the all clear and found a home at Texas A&M.
And what a story. I mean, she only played 13 matches her freshman year. In the first practice back in the spring, gets injured again, and that's why she was medically disqualified. Stayed in school in the spring and then went home to train and look into medical options, like how could she get cleared. Trained hard and then decide to get on the portal in December.
And Madison, she has been a huge addition for Texas A&M.
And once she was able to play again, she committed to be an Aggie, and head coach Jamie Morrison told me a core memory for him was telling her that she gets to play again. He said it was taken away from her, and that made her extra grateful to step on the court again. And just think about it. This time last year, she said she was sitting on her couch thinking, this story is not done. It's such a blessing, and it allows her to play with extra freedom.
But one of the conditions of her getting to play is that she wears that Q collar you see around her neck, and that helps increase blood flow to the brain and help cushion the brain. So that's part of the deal. She has to wear that in every match. But wow, so glad to see her back out on the court and playing in this tournament. Out of the timeout, Chloe Chacoin gets the kill.
When Louisville needs a big kill, Chloe Chacoin steps up.
I'm sorry, that was Peyton Peterson.
Peyton Peterson steps up.
Yeah, they both do.
She's been so good.
Tells her set up Helmuth. Swiping it off of the Louisville block. Texas A&M 2 points away.
This is the point that we've seen earlier in the first 2 sets where Louisville has taken over in the red zone. Texas A&M needs to continue to put the pressure on Louisville and stay aggressive in attack.
So they will sub in freshman Megan Fitch out of San Antonio. Saw her come in late in the second round against TCU and really perform for Texas A&M. Timeout's going to be called, though.
Well, Louisville's going to ice her. I mean, she's coming into the match for the first time at a crucial point, and Louisville wants to ice the server.
Well, tomorrow, don't miss the FCS quarterfinals. 12-seeded Villanova taking on 4-seeded Tarleton State. That's at noon Eastern on ESPN. Then at 3:30 on ABC, number 11 South Dakota battling the 3-seed in Montana. Both games also available on the ESPN app. Don't forget, coming up after this match, about 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one, we will have Kansas and #1 Nebraska, a Nebraska team that is 32-0 on the season, undefeated, trying to go on an undefeated national championship run. And we've seen the stands here at John Cook Arena and the Devaney Center filling up since this first match started.
A lot of red here tonight.
Last 2 regional semifinals to be played across the country. Winners of these 2 matches tonight will play each other on Sunday here in Lincoln. Louisville playing catch-up in this one. What were the Cards talking about, Madison?
Well, head coach Dan Meskey started out with, all right, we're going to ice this kid, so when that happens, watch the serve drop. And then he said, when we get the pass, be aggressive. And he's constantly reminding Nate Cabello to keep the tempo going to spread out the offense.
Called it, Holly, icing the server.
Thank you. Great minds think alike.
Did it work, or is Megan Finch, the freshman, ready to go?
Texas A&M took Maddie Walk out of the game, so this is a defensive lineup for Texas A&M.
Chacoin will get the swing. It's blocked. Cabello back to Chacoin, and it was touched. Point Louisville. They will sub Maddie Walk back in on the Texas A&M side, so setter on the floor.
Sometimes more surface area on a big block allows the outside hitter to work off the hands, and Chloe Chacoin takes advantage.
Maddie Walk just tossed it over her head with one hand. Chacoin working off hands on the block, and we're tied.
Louisville leaving Kara Cressy in the match to serve. Kara Cressy's serve can be a huge weapon for her team. Earlier in her career, they were able to go on long scoring runs with her behind the line. Last year, she didn't serve at all.
Well, right now, Louisville has been able to tie this thing up. Chloe Chacoin with some big swings, Madison.
And in addition to those 19 kills, Camden Schran said Chloe Chacoin brings out the hype man in her and in everyone. She said she's never played with a competitor like Chloe. She said when she shows her fiery side, it gives me the freedom to show mine. And when I spoke with Chloe Chacoin, she said, I didn't want to come into this program and be super crazy at first. Those are her words. But then she said as the season went on, she got more comfortable and she can be herself. And she remembers something that her coach, Todd Chamberlain, told her. He said, we didn't bring you here to be a role player. Let loose and let Big Chungus out. And Courtney and Holly, I'll let you explain Chungus.
Yeah, Chungus is her nickname. It's like a family nickname. I guess her last name, I don't know. She's like, it kind of looks like Chungus. I was like, really, does it?
I guess it's her alter ego.
Hey, whatever works. She's got 8 kills in this set.
And 19 kills on the match, hitting .417. We talked about her being undersized. She can get up off the ground. She's fantastic in the backcourt as well. She's been responsible for a lot of the serve received tonight for Louisville.
Coming out of high school, she was the #1 recruit, graduated early, was the Indiana Gatorade Player of the Year, spent those 2 seasons at Purdue, and then entered the transfer portal after last season, and now has found her home at Louisville. We have had 15 ties in this 3rd set.
You and I knew this was going to be a battle, but that doesn't surprise me. But it's the red zone. Like, who is going to be better? And it's been Louisville so far.
Both teams needing 2 more points. Kendall Stowers in the angle. It is set point Texas A&M.
That is a huge swing from Kendall Stowers. I mean, they angle, and she had to thread that inside Hannah Sherman's left hand.
Tatum Thomas will serve to extend the match, trying to force a 4th set. Cabello to Chacoin. Dug up by Thomas. Crafty play from Kendall Stowers, and we continue on.
The response in Kendall Stowers was crucial in the left front position. Look at this little soft touch shot, recognizing the inside block, knowing that that spot is available.
Texas A&M with their backs against the wall, they win a must-win set. Another must-win set for the Aggies coming up. Well, this time last year it was a familiar feeling for Texas A&M. They were playing in the same gym in Lincoln, but they were taking on Wisconsin in the regional semifinal, and they pushed that Wisconsin team to a 5th set.
The Aggies came in as underdogs, but played huge. They pushed this Wisconsin team to a 5th set, and Logan Lednicki was spectacular. She had 23 kills to lead everybody, but they fell 2 points short.
They drew a lot of confidence from that match coming into this regional, and talked about how that fueled them and realized that they belong here. Well, as they were switching sides, a little equipment malfunction. A bag got stuck in the net.
The medical bag from the trainer. Wow, never seen that.
Huh. Well, Texas A&M won a set they had to win. They had to win that 3rd set, and they did. How did they do it, Holly, in set number 3?
Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Well, it was crucial points. Kendall Stowers in that 3rd set was really good, and I think the passing cleaned up, and that allowed them to run a better offense.
Let's check in with Madison.
Coach Morrison said, all right, first of all, nice response. And then he had 2 things to say. He said, let's get the D ball going a bit more. So something to look out for. Watch Lednicki out of the back row. And then he said number 7, which is Chloe Chacoin, is on her way down, going for high hands. So low and over on the block.
And Chloe Chacoin does have 19 kills, hitting .405. And there they go after her with a block.
Chloe Chacoin on the right side that time, hitting into the meat of Afena Kozapala's block.
Texas A&M has to win this set once again because they dropped the first 2 to Louisville. A win for Louisville, and they're moving on to the regional final. Chacoin through the block. That puts her at 20.
Louisville early in that last play established Hannah Sherman, and then that opens things up for Chacoin on the pin.
Chloe Chacoin's got back-to-back 20-kill matches for the first time since her freshman season. She's in her junior campaign. They walk out to Stowers. Cabello flying in to save it. Lednicki. One arm save from Cabello. It's going over. And off of the block by Hannah Sherman. It's a point for Texas A&M.
Logan Lednicki just a little faster than Hannah Sherman on the press, and the Aggies able to score.
There's Kendall Stowers, who was just critical in that 3rd set for Texas A&M. It's wide for Peyton Peterson.
Surface pressure by Stowers got Louisville out of sorts. Didn't get the swing they wanted. First contact, again, crucial for Louisville right now, getting Cabello right in the middle of the court towards the net. Looked like Blackshear came inside and was under that ball. Could not get on top of it. Aggies on a little run right now.
3-0 run to start this 4th set. Stowers serves at Chacoin. Peterson. There's a swing and a kill for Louisville.
Cabello doing a really nice job keeping the tempo on the set, and that allows Peterson to work through the seam of the block because the Aggie middle blocker has to chase.
Get over quick, get over quick.
Kozapala behind the center. It's dug by Cabello. Cabello will run her middle. Cressy and A&M's ready.
Both teams trying to get their middles going. I'll tell you, Cabello had a fantastic dig.
Cabello's got a double-double with 36 assists and 10 digs. She also has 4 blocks. Blackshear. That was a better connection.
Definitely. Blackshear staying behind that ball, keeping it high, working through the Aggie block. Schran puts up a perfect pass, and then you see Blackshear keeping it high off the hands.
And Kinney on the surge. She goes at helmet. Lednicki. Golly, I mean, what do you do?
I'm not sure what you do, but the pace is so quick. You have to step into the court. If you're Hannah Kinney, I think, and just dig it, just step a little bit more forward. I'm sure it's scary, but I think you got to do it.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's 50 miles per hour coming at you.
And sometimes she doesn't get top spin on it, which makes it really tough to read defensively.
She just got a service ace. Chacoin takes the pass. Peterson takes the swing, and it's in for Louisville.
Peyton Peterson knows what's open deep down that line. She's been so consistent all night long for Louisville.
That is in off the block, and that was really interesting first touches on that for Louisville.
Yeah, Chloe Chacoin set Kara Cressy, and look at Nealise Cabello owning the net, just getting out, setting up a block. Her hands are shooting over the net quickly. Really nice block execution.
Morgan Perkins right to the middle of the court.
When Texas A&M passes the ball well, their middles are unstoppable.
Morgan Perkins has 4 kills. Afina Kasapala has 7. Those are their 2 middles for Texas A&M. If you can go to the middle, you want to, because they're going to hit for a higher percentage normally because they're in the middle of the floor. They've got a lot of court they can pick on.
And they hit a low, quick set, which doesn't allow the defense to have enough time to respond.
Louisville's going to continue to let Kara Cressy serve.
Well, if you think about it, 6'6", high contact point, good arm. Kara Cressy can be dangerous from that back line.
A&M gets the perfect pass. They go back to Perkins.
Underwood handling that pass, and again, when Texas A&M passes like that, Maddie Walk has her choice going back to that middle to Morgan Perkins.
64 miles per hour on that swing from Morgan Perkins. Oh, Afina Kasapala with the block.
This is the same rotation we saw at the end of the 3rd set. Blocking scheme to stop Chacoin on that left side.
Not here, says Kasapala. 7 kills, 7 blocks.
That time, Cabello able to get Chacoin one-on-one around Morris, and that's a much better matchup than a big double block with Kasapala.
What stood out about Louisville's offense? I mean, in this set, they're hitting 0, but for the match, they're hitting 300.
Louisville's trying to get their middles going. They're getting dug, but establishing them is really crucial to holding the middle blocker on the other side, even if you don't score.
Texas A&M's angles from all their attackers have been so impressive. That one from Kendall Stowers.
Kendall Stowers all night long has been hitting this ball inside the block, and that is so impressive because Chacoin's probably on the 3-meter line, and that clears her.
Blackshear out of the middle of the floor. Underwood will take the set to Lednicki, and she runs into a Louisville block.
Hannah Sherman doing work defensively, getting out and closing And what she does really well is turns her hands back into the court so she doesn't get tooled.
Sherman's up to 4 blocks. Casapala's showing off some offense.
Louisville needs to pick up the service pressure, more pace, more seams, the yo-yo game, the short deep, because if Casapala is getting these kind of looks, it's going to be a long night for Louisville.
And that's something they were able to do in the first set. They put on that service pressure with the short serve strategy. Now Texas A&M jumps ahead 13-8. Let's check in with Madison.
Well, I'm noticing a very level mood from all of the players on the court for A&M. No one's getting too high or low with celebrations, just a steady, zonal-focused demeanor from every player. And I think that goes back to them being comfortable and confident in this situation.
Yeah, and it's a veteran group, Madison. 9 seniors. Casapala's block is just owning right now.
Casapala can touch everything. She's so quick laterally. Look at her get shoulder to shoulder with Lednicki, and they just put up an Aggie wall.
It is a 3-0 run right now for Texas A&M. They're up 14-8. They have to win this set. Stop!
Casapala taking over this match and imposing her will on Louisville.
Might we have a block party going on here in Lincoln? Afema Casapala, an absolute wall at the net, and Texas A&M is rocking.
15-8 A&M and a must-win for the Aggies. Well, Jamie Morrison came to Texas A&M to grow it into a perennial powerhouse, he said, like Nebraska and its fan base. Afena Casapala, starting 3 years ago, she said, when he got there, the culture changed. The level of play increased tenfold, and those 9 seniors on this team were there helping him build it. Last home match versus TCU, the seniors had a special moment. They huddled together, most of the crowd stuck around, giving them a big applause for everything they've built. Logan Lednicki told me in that huddle, there were tears, but they were happy ones. She told the seniors, look at what we built. Look at how far we've come. We've left everything on the court and can be so proud of what we've made as Aggies.
Yeah, and you can see today, Madison, by their performance, they are not done yet. They have backs against the wall. They had to win set 3. They did that, and they're up in set 4. Another must-win for them. Logan Lednicki, one of those seniors Madison talked about. She tacks on her 17th kill. What is A&M doing well right now?
Everything. I mean, they've got their stars really taking over the match. Lednicki's so good. Casapala is on a mission at the net.
5-0 run for Texas A&M. Trying to force a 5th set. Peyton Peterson is blocked. You mentioned a mission.
Texas A&M, we knew it, 9 seniors. This could be the last match of their college career together. I mean, there's a sense of urgency.
Afena Casapala right now is absolutely incredible. She's got 11 blocks. Louisville is hitting -150 because of the blocking and the prowess at the net right now for A&M.
The pressure right now that Texas A&M is putting on Louisville is causing those low numbers. -200 right now for Louisville in this set.
Texas A&M has jumped out to a huge lead. They're on a 6-0 run. The last 4 points for Texas A&M came on blocks. They've got 7 blocks in this 4th set alone.
Volleyball is such a game of momentum that for Louisville, they need to get momentum back on their side if we go to a 5th. But watch Casapala go to work. She and Lednicki forming an Aggie wall, and they have just taken over this match.
So if you're Louisville, how do you adjust to this block?
One, you need to pass well. You need to get it up to the net so Cabello can spread things. And then try and establish the middle, get some one-on-one looks. Not easy to beat Casapala one-on-one in the middle, but it's better than a wall of 2 blockers on the pin.
Texas A&M still deserves
Madison, what'd you hear on the Louisville side?
Dan Meskey said, we're down. They want us to roll over. Let's take a stand. And then Kara Cressy's looking everyone in the eye saying, we got this, cheering on her team like the true leader she is.
Blackshear coming out of the middle. And that ends a 6-0 run by A&M.
Blackshear goes wrist away. She usually likes to go cross body in the defense of the Aggies, leaning the other way.
Misconnection there. Lednicki just had. That's all she could do was tip it over. Cabello to Cressy. Tip over by Lednicki, dug by Cabello. Peterson coming in hot. And a net violation on Texas A&M gives the point to Louisville. In the 2 sets Louisville won in this match, they had to come from behind.
This is a big deficit. It's going to be challenging. I've been impressed with Cabello playing right back defense, popping up a lot of balls for Louisville, but they're going to need to dig a lot more.
She's got 11 digs, the setter. And she was trying to get that one out to Peyton Peterson. It's going to be a point for Texas A&M.
Talk about response. Jamie Morrison got exactly what he asked for.
And he told Madison after that second set, he talked to his team about their response. How do they handle being down 2-0? And I don't think they want this to be their last match of the season.
Seniors never want it to end. And watch Emily Helmuth on that left side. And that ball is blocked back into the head of Kara Cressy for the Aggie point.
Texas A&M's block has absolutely dominated set 4. They've got 8 blocks in this set.
It's been unbelievable, the turnaround. Texas A&M hitting 312, 8 blocks in this set compared to Louisville right now hitting -120 in only 2 blocks.
And we haven't seen Louisville been able to make the adjustment around this block.
No, but I think it's Texas A&M really imposing their will. I mean, they've really taken over Casapala. We saw it. And I think when you see Casapala on your side of the net making those kind of plays, it energizes you.
Well, don't forget, this is not our last match of the night here in Lincoln. Kansas is in the stands watching. They're getting set to take on #1 Nebraska about 30 minutes after this first regional semifinal concludes. Kansas team in their first season under Matt Ulmer, who went to 3 regional finals when he was the head coach at Oregon.
Kansas back in a regional semifinal for the first time since 2021. They've got a tall task ahead of them tonight.
Even the Grinch made some time to come see a little volleyball tonight. All right, Louisville out of timeouts in this set. Momentum with Texas A&M. Their block has been dominant. They have to win this set to force a 5th. Cressy on the slide. Walk out to Helmuth. Dug up by Chacoin. Peyton Peterson tools the block.
When Louisville can make digs like that and score points in transition, that's how they gain momentum. Hannah Kenny, one of the best servers for Louisville on the back line, and this is where Louisville needs to make a big push.
Come on, Peter, come on, Peter.
Morgan Perkins out of the middle for Texas A&M. They hit the red zone.
Jamie Morrison talks about the way he trains his team, and he feels like they are the best passing team, one of the best in the country, and that allows them to run that quick offense to Morgan Perkins in the middle.
And look at the production they're getting out of the middle. 8 kills from Casapala and 6 from Perkins. Kara Cressy, and it's one of the rare times they've had success on that slide play tonight.
That was a much-needed kill from the middle attackers on the Louisville side of the net. This ball is high enough, wide enough, and allows Kara Cressy to swing fast through the seam of the block.
And 51 miles per hour fast.
Go, Chung, go, Chung, go, Chung. Don't worry about it. Good.
Lednicki coming out of the back row. Chloe Chicoine with a pop.
Louisville is daring Texas A&M to run that D-ball to Lednicki in the back row. Watch the blockers. They don't even put up a block because they've got elite defenders in the backcourt. They feel like they can dig that ball.
And then Peyton Peterson gets an ace. And you know what? They go back to that D-ball. Lednicki out of the back row.
They dared her to hit it, and she took the line, turning it away from the defense. Sometimes you take a gamble, and Louisville can make an adjustment, put a blocker in front of her next time. But Lednicki out of the back row can score.
She's got 18 kills tonight. 6 digs, 6 blocks. It's a full stat line. She's had double-figure kills in her last 20 matches. Kara Cressy coming a little alive offensively.
That's Kara Cressy going off the outside hand. We've seen her attack that seam, but well-formed block and just using that outside blocker's hand.
Kara Cressy will take the ace.
Kara Cressy has the potential to be a very dangerous server, and right now Texas A&M in a situation, front row setter Lednicki still available out of the back row.
This was the situation in set 2. Louisville was down 21-16. They came back to win that set. How about the block from Louisville? And Jamie Morrison is going to try to shut down this Louisville run quick. He remembers set 2 as well.
Louisville putting some service pressure on Texas A&M and getting Maddie Walk, the setter, on the run. That allows the block to get set early on that pin. And Nealise Cabello has been fantastic with her blocking tonight for Louisville.
It's a 3-0 scoring run for Louisville as they try to play catch-up. This is still a must-win set for Texas A&M. If you're Louisville, what would you be talking about right now?
Continuing to put the pressure on, and then probably talking about that D-ball to Lednicki. Do we want to still leave her with no block in front, or do we want to put one block in front of her?
Texas A&M has really controlled this set until late here when Louisville's made the push. Texas A&M team who talks about responding. Interested to see how they respond coming out of this timeout.
Well, they're still ahead. It's about finishing for Texas A&M, and they need a good pass. They need to run the offense, and then they need to put their foot on the gas and get some stops like they were earlier in the set.
Texas A&M needs 4 more points to force a 5th set. Madison, what were the Aggies talking about?
Well, again, no one too high or low. Everyone very calm. Coach Morrison said they're yo-yoing a little bit with the serve, short and deep, so let's just get a good pass, lean into them right now, and get a side out.
Kara Cressy still behind the service line for Louisville, serving them on this 3-0 run. Going back over. Maddie Walk back to the middle with Morgan Perkins, dug up by Peterson. Wow, Louisville's defense.
How about Texas A&M going back-to-back middle attacks, but it was the defense in the response by Louisville to get that stop, and Hannah Sherman able to finish that off out of the middle.
7-1 run for the Cards. Stowers off the block. Cabello goes Sherman in the middle. Perkins sent it right back.
Good dig and opportunity in transition for Louisville, but the stop on Sherman for the Aggies. Right now, Cabello's in the front row. Look at her to be aggressive as an attacker as well.
It's number 8 White, the setter for Louisville. She'll fling it back to Hannah Sherman on the slide and can't get it over the net.
You see Louisville's trying to run. Hannah Sherman trying not to go left side dominant. But now Hannah Kenny, number 6 in White's going to slide into the setting position. Cabello's going to be an available attacker. So now Louisville has 3 hitters in the front row.
Kenny will set up Chacoin. She tips. Stowers going after it, sneaking it around that Louisville block. It is set point Texas A&M.
Hannah Kenny looking at her coach, what do you want me to do? And she's going to continue to run the offense.
Why are they making this change?
Because it allows 3 hitters and for Louisville to work out of this 2-hitter rotation.
Cabello will become that 3rd hitter. She almost got a kill, but A&M's defense wouldn't allow it. Stowers coming in. Chacoin blocked. Peyton Peterson out of the back row. Peterson with a dig. Stowers in the angle. We are going 5.
What a response from Texas A&M. They stepped up and they were their best in that 4th set.
A 5th set will decide who is moving on to Sunday's regional final. Texas A&M has the momentum. They're going for a reverse sweep when we come back to Lincoln. Texas A&M was down 2-0, and now they force a 5th set here in Lincoln in this regional semifinal. The winner of this 5th set is going to move on to Sunday's regional final against either Kansas or Nebraska. In that 4th set, Texas A&M had 9 blocks. Louisville hit 0 in the 4th set.
When you have that kind of pressure facing you defensively, it affects the hitters, the decisions. And Texas A&M was dominant. They have all the momentum going into this 5th set.
They ended on a 4-0 run. Nebraska waiting in the wings. Danny Busboom Kelly, who was a longtime Louisville head coach, coached Louisville Cardinals in 2 national championship matches. Now the head coach at her alma mater at Nebraska, waiting on to play. They'll play about 30 minutes after this one concludes. Madison, what was Louisville talking about in that huddle?
Well, before Coach got there, a couple players were like, I really want to scream. So Cressy was like, okay, let's do a quiet yell. So then they counted to 3 and everyone gave a very quiet yell. And then Kara Cressy said, don't let the moment get too big. Meskey said, this is nothing more than we've seen all year. So really just about sticking to the game plan and not getting overwhelmed by the moment that is this 5th set.
Yeah, this will be back-to-back 5-set matches for Louisville. Marquette forced them into a 5th set in the 2nd round. They've won 2 5-setters this year. Louisville is 2-5 in 5-set matches. Meanwhile, Texas A&M 2-1 in 5-setters. What do you want to see differently from Louisville, Holly?
They need to pass and they need to run their offense. So a little bit of middle and then out to those pins with some pace.
Texas A&M looking to carry over the momentum they have built. Chloe Chacoin gets the first swing, and that looks good for the Cards.
Cabello of Louisville doing a nice job pushing that ball, getting it out quickly so Chacoin can work high off the hands. And that's something she didn't do as well in the past. She's really evolving into a setter who can always push tempo.
And Kara Cressy behind the service line. They had success in that last set with her serving. Went on a 4-0 run. Not here as Logan Lednicki terminates. That puts her at 19 kills. Kendall Stowers back to serve. She scored the last 2 points in the third and fourth sets for Texas A&M. Kenny back sets Chloe Chicoine. That block is right on her. Kenny tried to dump it over. It was dug up by Underwood. And then Emily Hellman with the termination.
Hannah Kenny's doing a really nice job getting those sets out on the left, but it doesn't have the same zip and tempo as the set from Cabello. Here they're going back on the Louisville side to that 3-hitter rotation with Cabello as an option.
Chicoine trying to fight her way through that block, and she does.
Lednicki Kozapala taking up a ton of space, and the hitter coverage crucial for Louisville when Texas A&M is dominating those block touches.
Come on, get square!
On the block of Kozapala.
That ball just popped right into Kozapala's zone, and she throws it down. Little block deflection. Lednicki puts her hands up, and then the quick throwdown by Kozapala of A&M.
And she'll go back to the service line. 9 kills, 11 blocks, and 4 digs for Afena Kozapala. Peterson with the pass. Lednicki. Cabello's there. Camden Schrand setting up Chicoine. Tooling the block is Chloe Chicoine.
Camden Schrand left Chloe Chicoine inside a little bit, and that allowed her to swing hard and tool that block.
Chloe Chicoine is coming off a career-high 28 kills. She's got 25 right now, and Louisville just made their sub with Reese Robbins.
Louisville's putting Reese Robbins in front of Lednicki to try and slow her down for a crucial block in this 5th set.
Cabello to Blackshear. Won't get a touch. It's a point for the Aggies.
Blackshear in transition, trying to go deep to that corner.
And Dan Meskey's got the green challenge card. Gonna look for a touch on this.
Louisville is challenging block touch.
Both teams have 2 challenges heading into this 5th set. If you're correct in your challenge, you get to keep it.
No touch there.
Yeah, no touch, and the ball was clearly out. That's something they can bundle and look at together.
Could be an opportunity for Dan Meskey to talk to his team. I mean, we're in a 5th set, slow things down if A&M has some rhythm.
After the review, the call on the floor is confirmed. Louisville will lose the challenge.
So Louisville has 1 challenge remaining. Texas A&M will have 2. Going to 15 here in this 5th set. Still have to win by 2. Season on the line for both of these programs.
Peyton Peterson back on the floor for Louisville.
Service error by Lednicki.
Louisville right now has their tallest front row And Texas A&M in a two-hitter rotation, but they have to look for Lednicki out of the back.
Helmuth gets another swing. There's Lednicki out of the back row. Strand was ready for the dig. Cressy in the middle. Got it to work.
Louisville made an adjustment. They put Peyton Peterson in front of Lednicki, and it was beneficial. Slowed things down, and then in transition, Cressy with the kill.
They started out having nobody in front of Lednicki, attacking out of the back row. That just happened so fast for Morgan Perkins.
Maddie Walk to Morgan Perkins, that connection, that timing, so good. In the location of the set from Maddie Walk as well.
Yeah, close to 53 miles per hour on that swing.
A&M blocking scheme. Maddie Walk's off the floor. Morris on to block on right front.
Lednicki will give the bump set, and almost nobody went for it. Underwood had to step in at the last minute. Cabello lays out for it. Cressy got a swing off. What a play!
These types of plays, what a block by A&M in the cover by Cabello to run it down. And then Cressy just gets her feet there, keeps it high. One-on-one, wow. That's a huge play for Louisville.
Cabello has been throwing her body around all night. As the setter, she has 12 digs. That an incredible layout, and still was able to pump set up Kara Cressy.
Those are the plays that can energize your team.
Kenny serving down the line. In comes Stowers, she'll tool the block, and Kendall Stowers up to 15 kills.
Kendall Stowers was on her couch watching the NCAA volleyball tournament at home last year. Now she's having a huge impact for her team. 15 kills, hitting 263, 8 digs, 2 blocks. Amazing.
Cabello with the center dump. She's feeling it.
Cabello is doing everything at a very high level tonight for Louisville. We haven't seen her attack the ball very often, but this is a timely one with Kazapala breathing down her shirt.
Stowers just punched it.
Because Cressy has to honor Kazapala and the quick attack in the middle, that makes her late to get out there and close, and Stowers just making Louisville pay.
Texas A&M hitting 462 in this 5th set. Chicoine off the block. Jamie Morrison might grab the challenge card here.
Stowers asking her coach to challenge that ball. She thought it was in.
It was ruled a point for Louisville.
Challenge play from Texas A&M.
A&M is challenging that the ball landed in.
Not sure that angle.
It's hard to tell if it
Looks wide. We need to see down that line to see if it got a piece of it.
The original call was out, and a point for Louisville.
After the review, the call on the floor is confirmed. A&M will lose a challenge.
So when they just reviewed this was the angle they were looking at from DV Sport. Down the line.
Wide.
Yeah, and they were able to confirm the call that it was out.
That's the angle you need down that line, and you can see red under the ball.
So both teams with one challenge remaining in this 5th set. Louisville hits 8 points, so they've switched sides. Going to 15. Still have to win by 2, but a season on the line for both teams. For Texas A&M, they are trying to reverse sweep, meaning they dropped the first 2 sets. They're trying to win 3 sets in a row. The last time was September of last season against Missouri. For Louisville, the last time that they were reverse swept was December of 2023 against Pitt. That was in the regional final.
A reverse sweep is one of the hardest things to do in volleyball. I mean, to get beat down like that and come back and dominate the next 3 sets. But Texas A&M has put themselves in a good position to have a chance at it.
Interesting trend that we're seeing too in the regional semifinals. The 3 seeds have all advanced at the other 3 sites. Interesting to see if that trend holds here in Lincoln. Don't forget, Nebraska and Kansas will take the floor 30 minutes after we finish this match here in Lincoln, our final regional semifinal. What'd you hear on the A&M side, Madison?
Well, first of all, head coach Morris is extremely happy and positive. He said, first of all, I love this. And then he said, watch 13 when she's serving, communicate. She likes to serve seams. And then he finished with this. He said, my biggest thing, we've been playing 15-point sets in the 5th all year for this moment right here.
Remember your training, if you will. Oh, Louisville got out of the way just in time.
Kara Cressy, tough serve cross court into area 1, which is right back where Maddie Walk's running in from. And that ball just got away from Underwood's platform.
6 aces for Louisville tonight in the match. And that'll be a service error for Kara Cressy. Blocks back. Texas A&M's block dominated in the 4th set of Fenacasapala.
All match long, they've been going at Chloe Chacoin, and the pass pulls Cabello over. And then look what the Aggies are able to do. Let Nikki and Casapala just putting up a wall on her.
Block to Lednicki. Chacoin. Peyton Peterson takes a swing to get it over. Lednicki dug by Peterson. It's got to go over. And Chloe Chacoin tried to get a swing off of that.
That was not an easy ball to jump and attack, and she tries to go deep corner. I like the idea. It's an aggressive error. But now we're all tied up.
Well, Texas A&M actually jumps ahead 10-9, and they're on a 3-0 run right now.
The net incredible in the hitter coverage by Louisville trying to keep it up.
Texas A&M hitting .312 in this set. They're on a 3-0 run.
nationally, Louisville is a higher-ranked team in terms of blocking, but it feels like the Texas A&M block has been more effective.
Well, A&M's tied their season high with 16 blocks in this match tonight. A&M 5 points away from a regional semifinal, or excuse me, a regional final. Madison, what'd you hear from Louisville?
It was a pretty quiet huddle, but head coach Dan Meskey said when they're tight, Logan Lednicki likes to go wrist away. Let's be really disciplined on our block. We need a big stop here and a big side out.
Now trying to stop this 3-0 run. And Kenny was the one up at the net setting, and they're going to call blocking the set on A&M.
Hannah Kenny was trying to go up and set this ball. It's a tight pass. Kozapala attacks it.
And the ball was not in the top of the plane in the net, so the defense can't come up and get it. 9th tie. Flings it back to Logan Lednicki. It's just like been on repeat all night.
And it always is. Texas A&M can rely on Logan Lednicki consistently. She comes up with big swings for them.
First time this season that she's had back-to-back matches with 20 or more kills. She had 21 in the second round against TCU. 5th time this season she's hit the 20 kill mark. Chacoin. Walk on the run. Helmet. Into the block, the up from Stowers. Chacoin with the hustle to get there. Morgan Perkins in the middle, dug by Schrand. Lednicki off blockers. Here's Blackshear. Rejected by A&M, and Dan Meskey hits the ball way up into the stands after that point ends.
There was a weird play where Logan Lednicki played it underhand.
You think it should have been a lift call?
It was close. I think that's what Dan Meskey's upset about.
Louisville is going to take a timeout. They gave Dan Meskey a yellow card, a warning. So a yellow card, a warning for Dan Meskey on the Louisville side. 2 yellow cards in the same set would equal a red card, which is a point for the opponent.
Louisville had some fantastic defensive plays and opportunities to score, but the block of Texas A&M with another one, 17 already tonight.
That block has just surged late, and they have really dialed it in late in this match, talking about Texas A&M.
They certainly have, and it's the eye work, recognizing where they're setting the ball, getting shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip with that pin blocker, and they're just closing, and they've been so disciplined with their blocks tonight.
Afena Kasapala has 12 blocks. Her career high is 14. So now on the Louisville side, you got to regroup here, and you got to do it quickly because Texas A&M is 3 points away.
Definitely, and it starts with the pass. They need to pass. They need to get Cabello towards the net in the middle of the court. She's got 3 hitters. This is a rotation where they're stacked on the left. Hannah Sherman usually runs a slide, and no block for A&M goes with her. And then Blackshear hits that 2 out of the middle with Chicoine on the left side hitting a fastball.
We saw the emotion from Dan Meskey. Madison, what was that Louisville huddle like?
It definitely was the most passion I've seen from Dan Meskey all season. He started out with stand up, let's have some energy. He called a play, he said scratch it. Let's work on what we worked on in practice.
And they get a block of Lednicki. Haven't said that often tonight.
Hannah Sherman got out so quick to close that block, and she is fantastic turning her hands back into the court so that ball drops in.
So they'll make this blocking substitution, Louisville will, as Reese Robbins, number 25 in white, comes in. They'll match her up against Logan Lednicki with Chloe Chicoine serving. Lednicki got through the block, no problem. Free ball back to the Aggies. Morgan Perkins cutting it up.
The problem for Louisville is they made a fantastic dig, but didn't get a swing out of it. Reese Robbins is stuck over on the left side. They didn't get the swing they wanted. And that's unfortunate because you go free ball to Texas A&M and they make you pay. Perkins out of the middle.
Texas A&M 2 points away from a regional final. What an angle for Peterson.
Big swing and aggressive in a big moment is Peyton Peterson. Texas A&M has 2 hitters in the front row. Lednicki available out of the back row.
Swiping it through the block is Emily Helmuth. It is match point Texas A&M. Going for the reverse sweep.
Helmuth pushes it inside the left hand of Cressy. And now Texas A&M blocking scheme. No setter on the floor. Morris in to block on the right side.
They bring in Megan Fitch to serve. Blackshear in the middle. Stowers off hands. A&M reverse sweep on to the regional final. A place they haven't been since 2001. Texas A&M is back in the regional final.
The response from the Aggies when their backs were against the wall in a tight third set was really impressive. And then they just continued to get better to finish on a high note. And Louisville showed lots of fight in the big moment, but Texas A&M's block was really the difference at the end.
And shout out to Kara Cressy, a senior on this Louisville team, a 5th year that decided to come back and help them try to make another run. An outstanding career she had for the Louisville Cardinals.
She certainly did.
Jamie Morrison had a goal when he took over Texas A&M, to make them a regular in the tournament, to make them a regular team that can make a deep run in the tournament. And here they are in a regional final for the first time in a very long time.
And the 9 seniors play on. This isn't their last night of volleyball, and I'm sure they're relieved because this group loves one another.
They talk about response a lot in the Texas A&M program. They've talked about it all season. How did you see them respond after dropping the first 2 sets in this match?
Leaders stepped up for Texas A&M, and it started with Kazapala at the net. She was a monster. She was touching everything defensively, and then Lednicki as well.
Logan Lednicki with 20 kills. Her career continues, and she is with Madison.
All right, Logan, after that match, I saw some tears. Where did those emotions come from?
Just how far this program has come. In my 4 years being here, all the work, blood, sweat, and tears put in by all my teammates, the coaches, just everyone involved. It is emotional. It's amazing. We're making history. Like, we are making history. And it's amazing. Yeah.
And it was a reverse sweep. How did this team's fight get you this win?
Well, after the second when we lost, we just weren't finishing the end of the set. So we went back there and we were like, we're not letting them sweep us. We know how to grind, we know how to dig in. We saw it in the TCU match, and we did just that. So.
Last one, it's your team's first time back to the regional final since 2001.
Yeah.
What is special about this group to get you there?
Like, we work so hard, we're so close of a team. The staff is amazing. Like, we have everything it takes to keep going, and I'm just so excited to keep playing with this team.
Gritty win, congratulations, go celebrate.
Texas A&M will play another day, and that day is Sunday in the regional final. They will get the winner of Nebraska and Kansas, which is coming up in 30 minutes. What a show we just witnessed. Texas A&M making some history back in the regional final for the first time since 2001. Sam and company in the studio. How about that?